Hi, welcome to QA Scripts. In this video, we will learn what is the variable, what are the different types of variables we have in Java, how to define variables, what is the data type, and how to call the method with arguments. Let us start. What is variable? To give overall idea about a variable, let us take one simple example. Here is a glass. Using this glass, I can drink water, I can drink alcohol, I can also drink tea or coffee or Bournvita or Horlicks, so and so. Here glass is one vessel. Using that empty vessel, I can drink different liquids. I can fill the liquids and I can use as per my wish. So the glass is an entity or an empty vessel. This can hold different kinds of liquids. Like that, we have a concept of defining a word. That word will going to create a space in your computer. That space can be filled with different data. When I say data, the information what I am going to pass from my keyboard, such as ABCD, that's a one kind of data. 1 2 3 4, that is another kind of data. 1 2 3 4 5.25, that is another kind of data. And special characters also I can pass from my keyboard, so that is another different kind of data. So this kind of data I can place it into that vacant space in memory. So variable is nothing but a entity. This will create a space, empty space in memory. We can fill that memory with a different data at the runtime or while creating a program. So is it clear? A variable is nothing but a entity. This will have empty space in memory and this will ready to hold different data types or data at the time of running, as it is in case of empty vessel. Okay, now I want to pour hot melted iron into this glass. Is it possible to hold? No, it cannot, because the temperature of melted iron will be having high temperature that cannot withstand in the glass. The glass cannot withstand the temperature of melted iron, so it will melt again. But the melted iron is also a kind of liquid, so I want to hold that. To hold that, I want to have one more vessel that can withstand the temperature of melted iron. So that's also a empty space like glass, but the capacity will be different. The characteristics of that particular vessel will be different. So to hold different liquids, to hold different types of liquids, we need different types of empty vessels. Like that, to hold different types of data, we need different types of variables. We can make that variable with a different characteristics, I can say that. So how to make a variable with a different characteristics to hold the different data types? Let us look at a keyword called data type. So we have a data type. Data type is nothing but it's a keyword else to differentiate variables from each other, or a keyword. This will assign some properties or define some characteristics to that variable. So if you use particular keyword of data type, then that particular variable will have capacity to hold one kind of data type. Let us look at what are the different data types we have in case of Java. Before going for that, let us look at how to define a variable using data type. So here is the way we can define a variable. First we need to place data type keyword, then variable name equals to value. Here the data type will be different to hold different kinds of data, what I explained about characters, and numbers, decimal numbers, they are all different data. So to store those different types of data, we need to use the data type in before a variable name. Let us look at what are the different data types we have in case of Java. We have two classification of data types. One is primitive data type, another one is user defined data type. In this video I'll be explaining about primitive data types only. In next video I will explain about user defined data types. Let us look at primitive data type. We have 8 different primitive data types. Let us start one by one. First one is byte. Byte is a keyword of data type. This will hold minimum of value 128, that is minus 120. Minimum value what it can withstand is minus 128 and maximum is 127. Within this range you can assign any digits or numbers. The default value of byte is 0. Byte data type is used to save space in large arrays, mainly in place of integers, since a byte is 4 times smaller than an int. Okay, there is another data type called int. Okay, I will explain in detail about int in next slide, but as of now understand byte data type is used to save space in large arrays, mainly in space of integers, since a byte is 4 times smaller than a int. How to define a byte variable? Here is the example. We have to use keyword called byte, all small, then variable name, that is a I have given here, then the value for it. So byte a equals to 100. Likewise you can create one more variable like byte b equals to minus 50. This is a way we can define byte data type variable. Then comes short. Here is the minimum and maximum range. Within that we can assign the values to a variable which is defined with short data type keyword. Short data type can also be used to save memory as byte data type. A short is 2 times smaller than an int. Default value of short data type is 0. Here is an example. We have to use a keyword called short, all small, followed by variable name, that is s I have given, then assign some values to it. The value can be within the range what I have mentioned above there. Another data type is int. Here is the minimum and maximum range. Within this range we can pass the data or integers to a data type int of a variable. Int is generally used as the default data type for all integral values unless there is a concern about memory. Default value is 0. Example for this int data type variable is we have to use a keyword called int, then followed by variable name a, then you can assign integer numbers, that falls in between the range of minimum and maximum values what I have explained in the above lines. There is another important data type, that is long. Here is a minimum and maximum range. Within that value we can pass any numbers. This data type is used when a wider range required than int. Default value is 0 again, and here is an example how to define a long variable. Very simple. We have to use a long keyword all small followed by a variable name equals to value. At the end you have to place L letter so that it will become long variable. Then comes float. Float is mainly used to save memory in large arrays of floating numbers. Default value is 0.0. Here we can assign the fractured number as well. Float data type is never used for precise values such as currency. In case of currency we need to give whole number. That's why whenever if you are getting a chance to assign a currency, don't use float. Instead of use some other data types such as int, short, long, something like that. The example how to define float is very simple. We can use float keyword, that is data type, followed by variable name, that is f1 equals to, here you can mention value for it with a fractured numbers followed by f keyword. There is another data type, that is double. This data type is generally used as the default data type for all decimal values, generally the default choice. Data type, double data type should never be used for precise values again. Data type default value is 0.0. Example for this data type double is, we have to use double keyword followed by variable name, then assign numbers in fractured way. Here you can pass numbers like 1 2 3 dot 4 and 567 dot 567, like that you can assign the numbers, decimal numbers you can assign to this kind of data type variable. Then comes Boolean. There are only two possible values, one is true and another one is false. This data type is used for simple flags that track true or false conditions. Default value is false. Here is an example how can we use a Boolean data type. We have to use a keyword called Boolean all small followed by a variable name, then you can assign values such as true or false. Last but not the least is a character data type, char. Char data type is used to store any character. Here is an example. You can use char keyword all small followed by a variable name equals to value in double quote, that is string value ABCD, names or any country name you can pass it to char data type. Let us see how to declare a variable. It may be of any data type, then how to initialize the variable. Here is the declaration. How to declare a variable? Very simple. You can use data type first followed by variable. If you want to use more than one variable name, separate by comma. Here you can say that int a comma b comma c and end by semicolon, because each and every statement in Java has to be end by semicolon. This is a way you can declare a variable. If you don't want to declare all variables in one line, you can go for multiple lines as well. You can define as int a semicolon, int b semicolon, int c semicolon. Like that you can also define double data type variables in single line or multiple line. So here we have just declared, we have not assigned any values or any default values. What is the initialization? Initialization is nothing but we are going to assign values at the time of creating or defining a variable. How to initialize? We can use data type keyword, that is int, followed by variable name, that is a equals to 10. Here I am assigning 10 value to a variable called a at the time of defining a variable. This is what we call initialization. You can also use multiple lines. We can also use different data type variables. Let us see different types of variables here. Till now we have observed different types of data types. Now it's a time to look at what are the different types of variables we have. We have three different types of variables. One is local variables, instance variables, class or static variables. Let us see one by one. What is local variables? Local variables are declared inside the method, inside the constructor, or inside the blocks. Don't worry about constructor at this time. I have explained in detail about constructor in other videos. If you want, you can watch those videos and you can come back, or you can just understand a constructor is another method having same name of class. Okay, so local variables are variables, they are to declared inside a method or inside a constructor or inside a block. Local variables are created when the method or constructor or block is entered, and the variable will destroyed once it exits the method or construct or block. Access modifiers cannot be used for local variables. There are some access modifiers. Access modifiers in the sense we have some keywords. Those keywords makes your variable accessibility to another class or another method. The visibility of your method will going to change. Visibility of your variable is going to change based upon the usage of your keyword. Those keywords what we call as access modifiers. Again, I have explained these access modifiers in another video with a detailed explanation. As of now, think that access modifiers are simple keywords. Those keywords will change your variable or method visibility in another class or in the same class. So those keywords cannot be used for local variables. Local variables are visible only within the declared method or constructor or block. Local variables are implemented at stack level internally. There is no default value for local variable, so local variables should be declared and an initial value should be assigned before the first use. Let us see what does this mean. Let us take example in Eclipse and let us try to understand each and every line what I have explained here. Before going to Eclipse, let us take a look at this snap. Here I have taken this snap from Facebook. In Facebook, if you upload any photo, and if you make that photo as only to me, then the photo will be visible only for you, only for the account holder, not for your friends, not for your non-friends as well. So the photo is very specific to your account only. It's as good as local variable. Local variable is nothing but a variable will create inside a method or constructor or a block. So this variable will not be available or accessible to another method or another class. So this is very specific to a method, like what options we have only me in case of Facebook. Let us open Eclipse. Here is a Eclipse. First and foremost statement what we have got is, let us go back to our methods. The local variables are declared inside the method, inside the constructor, or inside a block. Let us create two different methods and try to use local variables inside it, and let us see what happens if I don't declare in one method and if I try to use already declared variables. Let me create one simple method called add num. Public static void. I will name my method as add num. Again, don't worry the keywords such as public static void. I will explain about these keywords in future videos in detail. Now just use three keywords, that is public static void followed by method name. Here I have given method name as add num. Let me create three local variable, means inside the method I am creating variables, that's why those variables are being called as local variable. Let me use int data type and variable name as a, int b, int c. Now I will use addition arithmetic expression to add two numbers, that is to add a plus b. So I'll say c equals to a plus b. When I say c equals to a plus b, Eclipse is showing some errors in red mark. Let me move my cursor on red mark. If you want to know what is the error it has given, you can just move your cursor on red marks. When I move my cursor on red marks, it is suggesting some solution. What is that solution? Here it says that one quick fix available. What is that? Initialize variable. So it says that the point what I have explained is the last point. Let me show that point as well. Okay, here is the point. There is no default value for local variables, so local variables should be declared and an initial value should be assigned before first use. That's what it says here. If you want to use the variable, you have to initialize, not only declare, you have to initialize before first use. So when I click on initialize variable, immediately it will assign a 0 value to a variable a. Like that I can assign another 0 to variable b. Now there are no errors. When I say system dot print out dot print and I'll say value of c and I'll say c. Okay. Since the value here are 0, it will give 0 plus 0 as 0. Let me change it to 10 and 20 and let me execute. I'm sorry, I have not called this method inside main, hence it is not executed. Now let me execute again. So now I am getting value of C is 30 because 10 plus 20 is 30. Now let me create one more method saying public static void. This time let me say sub num, that is subtract number. Here I want to subtract two numbers. Anyway, I have used A, B, C and I have declared in the above method. Let me use same variables here. So I will say C equals to A minus B. When I say A minus B, it will show error. Eclipse will show error. Let me move my cursor on error A. It says that create local variable. Means I have declared variable inside this method. Since the method is declared inside the method, it acts as a local variable. So you cannot access the variable outside this method called addNum. Right? We are in same class, but we are not able to use variable already declared because that is local variable. If you want to use inside the subnum method, again you have to define those variables. Let me define it again. Now there are no errors, and I will say system.out print again, and let me see what is the result we are going to get it. Let me call this into main and execute. So this time it says that value of C is 30 because 10 plus 20 30, and value of C is minus 10 because here it says that A minus B, that is 10 minus 20, obviously result is minus 10. That's why I was telling local variables are declared inside the method. Yes, we have declared inside a method. Local variables are created when method or constructor or block is entered, and the variable will destroy once it exits from method or constructor or block. That's why this variable will be alive inside this method only. Outside this method it will not be alive, it will be destroyed. Access modifiers cannot be used for local variables. Okay, let me use one access modifier called public. When I use access modifier such as public for a local variable, it shows one error. Let me move my cursor. It says that remove invalid modifiers, means it's asking me to remove this modifier because it cannot accept, the local variable cannot accept access modifiers. So let me click on remove. Yes, it has removed. Now there are no errors. Local variables are visible only within the declared method, constructor or block. That is what we have seen, and there is no default value. Yes, we cannot have just declared the variable, but we have to have at least some values assigned before first use. This is what all about local variables. Let me explain about instance variable. That is another type of variable what we have, instance variable. Before going for instance variable, let us try to understand what is a keyword meant instance. Instance means what? Okay, let me create one class called instance variable, and inside instance variable I have declared two variables, and let me create one more method this time saying public static void. Let me use old name, that is addNum. Okay, inside that let me print out some message, that is system.out.println add two nums. Okay, think that I have written so many statements inside this add num to add numbers. Let me write that also, it's always better. I'll say int a equals to 10, int b equals to 20, int c equals to a plus b, and here I will publish the result of c that will be added by two numbers. So this is a simple method I have written in my class called instance variable. The name you can give different name also. The class name you can define anything, but here to make it easily understandable, I have given class name as instance variable. Now I want to use this method in another class, or maybe in the same class you can use, but I want to make it very clear. I want to use this method in another class. Let me create one more class called instance variable exe, that is execute. Okay, if I want to use the method present in instance variable, that is add num, I have to create an object. What is that object? Object is nothing but a simple variable. Let me say a obj. Okay, to get the add num, we have to copy the class and put it over here. It's not like right click, copy and paste. No, we cannot do it. There is another way to do it, to copy that instance variable class. How to do it? We have to use one variable name, that is obj, what I have given. What is the data type? I should not use any data type, but I have to use a class name as it is. So here I will say class name, that is instance variable, and one variable name equals to, we have to use a keyword called new, then again class name. Now what I have done, I have copied this class to a variable called obj. So this obj is not actually variable at this time, because the meaning of obj has changed from variable to object. Now this obj is going to call as object. So object is nothing but copy of a class. Copy of a class means now I can use all the methods, all the variables present in instance variable. How to use? You can type obj dot. When I say obj dot, I will be able to see method which is present inside class called instance variable. So there is a method called add num, right? So that add num I can use it here. Now this obj is object. Object is nothing but class is getting copied, or class of a copy of a class is nothing but object. I can say that. In larger term, I can also say that instance, this the class instance I am creating here and I am using. So you can create n number of objects, that is you can create n number of instances of a class. So object is nothing but a instance of a class. That's what we mean instance. Instance is it's kind of copying a class. So I have created object here. So very simple, object is nothing but copy of a class or instance of a class. Let us look at our instance variable now. Instance variable are declared in a class but outside a method, constructor or any blocks. So here let me come back to instance variable class, and here let me declare few more variables as int a, b, c, because it says that instance variables are variables declared outside the method but inside the class. Inside the class means inside instance variable is the class name. Inside this class I am declaring some of the variables but outside the method, that is add num. Let me define int outside the method. Now I can use those methods inside my method called add num. Okay, so now there are no errors. So this is what we call as instance variable. Instance variables are variables created inside the method but outside the inside the class, outside the method or constructor or any block. Instance variable are created when an object is created with the use of keyword new and destroyed when the object is destroyed. So here now we are clear the term of object. Object is instance of a class or copy of a class. So when I say create object, we have to use keywords of class, then we can use a word or variable, then we can assign new keyword. We can use new keyword as well. Okay, now when I create object, the instance variable will be created what it says. That's what when I say object dot, I'll be able to see different data type variable what I have created in my class called instance variable, that is name, salary, also there is a B, C and also method. These are the different variables I have created outside the method but inside a class. Let me define one method inside a class. So what I'll do, I'll say int x, y, z. This is inside a method. So what is that we call, if we declare a method inside a if I declare a variable inside a method, that is local variable. Now let me type object dot obj dot. Is it possible to see xyz somewhere here? No, we cannot see xyz here because xyz is local variable we have declared inside a method, whereas variable a, b, c are instance variable we have declared outside a method, and those methods will be accessed or get alive when we create object, and they will destroy when object get destroys. Instance variables hold values that must be referenced by more than one method. Constructor or block, essential part of an object's state that must be present throughout the class. If you want to use instance variable, you have to declare object and the variables will be live till object will be present, otherwise it will get destroyed. Access modifiers can be used for instance variable. Here let me use public keyword. So if I use public keyword for my variable, instance variable, there are no errors. It means that it will accept access modifiers also. Let me say obj dot. Here if we go down and see, still I am able to see all the variables even though I have used access modifiers for instance variable. The instance variables are visible for all methods, constructors and block in the class. Normally it is recommended to make these variables private. What it means, here in the class called instance variable, I can create one more method. Let's say public static void, this time I will say subnum. If I want to use already defined variables such as a, b, c, still I can use without declaring. So I will say c equals to a minus b. So no errors at all. In the sense instance variable can be declared across the class. You can declare n number of methods, and inside the method you can use it again and again because those methods are defined, those variables are defined outside the method. This is what we call as instance variable. Let me relate to example called Facebook. In that Facebook, if you upload any photos and if you make that as friends, the visibility as friends, then all your friends can be see that picture unless if you are not a friend of that person, then he cannot see that photo. If he want to see the photo, then he must have you as a friend, means he must have a declared, you must have a instance, you must have a declared a object inside his account. In create the object inside his account is nothing but have a friendship. You should have accepted him as a friends, then only you can see, otherwise you cannot able to see the updates what I am going to do in my account. The third one is static or class variable. Class variable, also known as static variables, and they are declared with a keyword called static in a class, but outside a method. Again, we are going to declare these variables inside a class but outside a method, and we are going to use a keyword called static. Static variables are rarely used other than being declared as constants. Constants are variables that are declared as public or private, final or and static. Constants variables never change their values initially. The initial value will not going to change if you use in the method or in the another class. Static variables are stored in a static memory. It is rare to use static variables other than declared final and used as either public or private constants. Visibility is similar to instance variable, that is we can use access modifiers for class or static variable as well. However, most static variables are declared public since they must be available for user of the class. Static variables can be accessed by calling with the class name. Let us see with an example. When declaring a class variables as public, static, final, then variable names, that is constants, are all in uppercase. Okay, let us look at the example of static variables. Of course, here I have used static keywords because I have main method. I'm sorry, I don't have main method, right? So I can remove the static keyword so that it will not throw any errors. Yes, don't get confused with the previous example, that is instance variable and the static variable. The static variables are variables you are going to create inside the class, outside the method, using a keyword called static. So here in the previous example also I used static because I was using static inside the while declaring a method. If you don't define a method using the static keyword, if you define only using keyword called public void, then you can use direct data types and you can define a variable. Still you can see all those methods such as int a b, c, they are all the instance variable I have declared outside the method as well as inside the class called instance variable. And once we declare instance of a class, then I can see those instance variable. This is what I just wanted to clear the confusion. Now let us come back to class variable. So as I said, class variable is nothing but a variable we are going to declare outside the method and inside the class using static keyword. If you use static keyword, this becomes static variable or class level variables. And if you use final keyword, then the value what you are going to assign to a variable that cannot be changed. Let us first look at this point. Here I have used a static variable, but I have not used final keyword. So if you assign any values, let's say salary equals to 2000. Okay, the initial value I have assigned as 2000, but inside the main method I can reassign or I can change the value like 1000. So there are no errors. But here I have declared one variable called department and I have used final keyword, and the value what I have assigned here is department. Let me use this department variable inside main, and let me try to assign something, some text other than development. So when I try to assign some values other than development keyword, it says that remove final modifier of department. Means here it says that either remove this final keyword or don't change the initial value. That's the difference between normal variable and the variable declared with final keyword. Now the static variable can be accessed with the use of class name. Let me do one thing here. I want to call those variables, that is there is a salary variable, right? If I use class name dot, I am able to see department variable, right? Means I can see all the variables, I can access all the variables, that is static variables, using class name. Instead of creating object, I can directly call them using class name dot variables. So this is what we call as class variable or static variable. Let us see how to create a method with arguments and how to call those methods and how to pass arguments when we call them. Let me go back to my one class. Here let me use the same class what I have already created. I have main method inside it. Let me create one method called public static void. I will say add num. Here I will define some arguments. How to define? If we want to pass int data type variable, then use here as int a, int b. So here I can pass two integers as arguments. So inside my class, in my method add num, I will say c equals to a plus b. Here we don't need to define a and b again because we are passing them as arguments, but we need to define what is the c. So here I will make this as an instance variable like int c. I will define outside the method. I have to use static keyword because I am using static for the method. I am making this method as static. If you make the method as static, then the variable also should be static. If you remove static here, then you can directly define as int c equals to 0. Now let me print out c value in system.out. I will say value of c space plus c. Okay. Now let me create one more method, public static void. This time I will say sub num, and again I will pass those two values as arguments, and I will say c equals to a minus b. system dot out dot println value of C, here I'll say plus C. So remember, if you are passing int variables, then result of variable must be int. If you say it's double, you cannot make C as int, because there will be conflicts between variable data types. So the result should be assigned to a variable having same data type. That's the one important thing. Let me call these two methods and let me assign the values. How to call? You can use the method name inside main, but you have to replace the arguments by value. I will say 20, 30. Remember, while passing the argument value, should not have any keywords such as int, double, string, nothing. Just you have to pass the arguments. Also remember, how many arguments you have defined in a method, those many arguments values has to be passed, and each and every arguments can be separated by comma inside the main. As it is, we have to separate the values by comma. Say, let me define one more argument value. When I say one more argument value, it shows some error. When I move my cursor on that error, it says that remove argument to match add num. It says that remove the argument what you have entered argument value as 40, remove that, because we have only two arguments inside the method called add num. This is the one fix. Another fix or suggestion, it says that change method add num as int to add parameter. Means it says that since you are using one more argument value here, so you need to add one more argument. That's what it says. If you say int C, then errors are gone. So it's understood that how many values, how many arguments you have declared for a method, those many values has to be passed. Not more than that, not less than that. Even if it is less, also it will throw error. If it is more, also it will throw error. Let me call another method, that is subnum. Here I will again pass different values. This time I will say 100 and 50. When I execute this, it says that value of C is 50, that is 20 plus 30 is 50. Again in second, value of C says 50, because 100 minus 50 is 50. Let me change this value so that it will be easy to understand. Now this says that value of C is 50 as usual, and in the second line it says that value of C is 60, because 100 minus 40 is 60. Likewise, you can pass any other data type as well, double A, double B, or double long A, long B. So you can use any, even string also you can use as a data type as an argument. So this way, the way we have passed the arguments for a method, we call this as a signature of a method. So the signature of a method is nothing but the way we have passed the arguments for that particular method. Here signature is we have two arguments. If you have three different arguments, again we say that signature has three arguments of a method. Okay, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or doubts, please mail to us using mail IDs here, info@qascripts.com or qascripts25@gmail.com, or you can also contact on my mobile. Thank you.